Welcome back to Men 101. My panel members, Tony D'Amico, Nick Bass, and I always try to get new names for Derek Friday. Like, just, I don't know. Derek Friday, how's that? Derek Friday.
Yeah.
That's good.
Chocolate croissant works.
Hey,
I've actually gotten that.
Puma was my favorite.
Puma.
But I've gotten chocolate croissant.
You got chocolate croissant.
It's not coming out of thin air.
Yeah, okay. Well, guys, listen, it's always great to be here, eh? You know? Nick, you're well. Oh, God. The boy's back.
I've been back a week.
I know, but it was nice to just like, because we missed you for 4.
Man, we missed you,
Like,
dude.
it's taken a little longer to get used to, you know? So, you know, today's an interesting topic because it's all over the news. All about marijuana and legalizing it, and can you buy it, and should you be able to buy it, and the effects of it and stuff like that. So we have a really great speaker today, Pauline Gerard. He's going to come talk to us and give us more information about it. And a band rapper from Montreal drove all the way in to come in and perform. I Am. So we're looking forward to that. So, guys, marijuana. What do you say?
Marijuana?
Marijuana. Where do we start? As Bill Clinton said, I puffed, but I didn't inhale.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
listen, I've been watching a lot of stuff in the U.S. about this and the really good effects it has on young kids and teenagers with people with epilepsy and other types of ailments.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Well, cancer and stuff, because you know I believe they use it in hospitals to help people eat and stuff like that. I think that's
Yeah.
to do that.
Not just the leaf itself. Like there has to. I think that what's very confusing in when Pauline comes out, we can ask her a little bit more in depth. But I think that what people get confused about is that there's medical marijuana as well, and it's not like people who are using medical marijuana are spinning up dubs and they use cannabis
Is
oil.
medical marijuana? Does it have the same content of? Is it THC?
THC
in it than when the guys that spin up the dubs? Because you know that really well, Derek. I was just like,
I mean, but I'm not sure. I'd actually like to find
I
out.
found out there was a pill that came out with. I was reading about
It's a
it
pill?
yesterday. Yeah, for pain. It's more of a painkiller, but it's marijuana, but it's in a tablet.
Cannabis.
Now those our expert can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that those are a higher concentration
Yeah.
of THC.
Yeah. But it's
Oh.
made for pain to instead
So
of using
THC is
painkillers.
They are more potent. The medicinal ones are more potent, right?
I'm talking about the pill.
Yeah.
the pill form
But
that
it's
you're speaking
medicinal
of.
pill,
Yeah,
right?
it's still, yeah.
Not a tablet. It's one of those. Yeah, it's like a tablet,
but it's a pill.
but it's a pill format.
for pain.
Yeah.
For pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the higher the content in THC, the more the high, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or the more numbing effect.
More numbing effect.
It's also just been approved by the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, as you can smoke weed now as an Olympian because it's actually a more natural way to recover, actually.
I think that started because of the Canadian Olympic guy. What was he on snowboard?
Snowboard guy.
Yeah, who got caught.
That was a what? It was a what?
Yeah, it was for was in BC,
BC?
the Olympics.
That's right.
Yeah, Vancouver, right.
So maybe they started looking after that, and they started saying, well, it doesn't really enhance them, just
Does it? But it makes you more relaxed.
Absolutely.
So then they've talked about back in the day, Leonardo da Vinci and these guys who would take stuff like that to help them open their brain
Yeah.
and become artists. So are you really an artist?
Why not?
Because all of a sudden now you have to take some type of drug to enhance your creativity.
Well, I don't know that it's a drug to enhance your creativity.
Your
Well, you're more-
creativity
you're-
is already there.
It's
Yes,
already there.
Okay, but you're opening up the brain,
Yes. What's the matter with opening up your brain, though?
taking some type of substance. What's the matter with taking steroids to participate in sport?
Steroids is a manufactured man-made drug, right?
Well, the stuff that they're making now in marijuana, it's hydroponic and all this stuff, and it's
Sure.
it's not it's man-made.
But are we talking about hydro or are we talking about...
We're just talking about marijuana in general.
Right, okay.
but still.
So how do you know what the IOC said hydroponic might be better than the
I
stuff
don't
that they
know
go
if
in
they
Jamaica
got
and the
into
field?
specifics. I have no idea about the...
You know,
about
it's
that
like
with the IOC.
I'm not saying negative or the negative effects are positive. I'm saying you're saying the IOC agreed to put it in there, allowed to take it. So, are they saying you can have the stuff that they grow in the field in Jamaica, or are you saying the stuff that the guys are growing in a plant with hydroponic, which is there's all different types of strains of marijuana.
Well, yeah,
like I know
right.
I've heard there's Kush, Purple Kush,
Yes.
Jean-Guy, so what is Jean-Guy compared to Purple Kush? Like what's the effect compared to the stuff that the guys grow out in the wild and just let it grow in the ground?
I love how you're all looking at me.
It's not that we're all looking at you. It's
My
just
mother's
well, I'm
watching
having
this
the
show.
Yeah,
conversation
I
with you
got
'cause it's gonna
that
say-
aspect. Listen, all I know is that I researched it a bit, and in America, 1 out of 3 smoke pot.
one of the three
think
people.
One out of three people.
Yeah, and I think that number is actually higher. I do. I think that number is a lot higher. And I think that the stigma of cannabis users is that it's this guy that's sitting on the couch that's really lazy and he's, just eating chips and smoking weed and it's kind of like, dude, what? But it's not really like that. Your doctor smokes weed. The cab driver, the
I don't think I want
server,
my
it's all
doctor
over.
working on me after I'm smoking weed.
But it's not about your doctor's going to smoke a joint and then come and operate on you. But
How do you know?
there are, actually, I don't know.
So, like, I had a friend that, like, Tony would know, that owns a big establishment gym in Montreal, and he used to smoke it regularly, business owner, and he realized that it made him not want to go to work. It made him not function properly when it came to work. He was staying home all day, and then he watched his business started to fail, and he had to get off it to realize that what was going on.
So it made him lazy.
Made him lazy.
But that's because he was abusing it. If he was smoking all day, every day, and he's gone to, of course you're going to get lazy.
But there
You're
are
not gonna
people
do
that
it.
But I read up that it said that, okay, you have the good aspect of it, but then when it starts wearing off, the downside is you do, you
crave
could
it.
get depressed, you could, you get hungry, obviously. There's so many side effects to it too, and
Why
they're
did you
not-
point
they're-
at me? Am I getting fat or something?
No, dude.
Oh,
no,
just
no,
checking.
No.
Everything's in moderation.
I hide everything
Everything,
under
yeah.
the suit. It's all good.
What? Really? Even other types of hard narcotics?
What are we talking about now?
We're talking about marijuana. You said everything in moderation, but I'm like, okay,
Today's
so...
topic is marijuana.
Yeah. Because then we could go into,
Hey,
Okay,
there's some
but-
really nice clothes made out of it.
yeah,
I gotta say
absolutely.
that. Clothing.
Hemp.
Out of marijuana?
Hemp.
Yeah.
Hemp.
Oh, right, they have that
Yeah,
cream hemp,
for
right?
sure.
That's right. That's yeah,
It's really
I
good
bought
stuff.
that. Yeah.
And then when you wanna,
So do you think what age group should be allowed to smoke marijuana?
I'm not sure. I think that you need to be developed. I think you should
Yeah.
be grown and developed before you can smoke weed.
So like alcohol, cigarettes,
like
18?
alcohol, but alcohol and cigarettes have a completely different effect on the body. Period. It is way more. Like
We love you, Derek.
I'm
But we
being cut
gotta
off
be right
again.
back after break. See you soon. Okay, my God,
Are we done?
Welcome back here. Nick, you're hilarious. Back, Pauline Gerard, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Pauline, CEO and lead consultant of Canna Relief Consulting based in Mississauga.
True.
You have a diploma in International Pharmacy Academy.
Yes.
After suffering neck pains for years, you were diagnosed with severe arthritis. And then, frustrated with prescription pills, the side effects, you turned to alternatives, I'm guessing marijuana.
Well, first other things, pharmaceuticals for a while until they rotted my stomach, and I had no other choices than to try something that was totally natural, which worked for me, and I ended up helping other people to do it, and that's how my business was born. Canna Relief Consulting Canada was born from my need for medical marijuana.
Mm-hmm. So it's a big thing in the news here in Toronto recently. A lot of these shops were raided, and are they legal, or is this?
No, dispensaries are not legal. The only legal system for medical marijuana is through Health Canada, which is called the ACMPR, which is Access to Cannabis for Medical Purposes Regulations, a big long name. So through that system, Health Canada has licensed 34 growers to supply medical marijuana right now to over 50,000 patients who are registered under that system. So that's what we do. We help them to get access. You do have to be a patient. You do have to have a medical condition. You do have to have tried other for ways to alleviate your symptoms, whether it was pharmaceuticals or whether it was physiotherapy or other treatments, psychotherapy, counseling. So there's so many different things that marijuana can help. And I like to call it cannabis, actually, because marijuana is actually a slang term. So cannabis is what we call it, and medical cannabis is highly regulated by Health Canada. It is inspected. It is checked for any kind of problems that it could have. One of the biggest problems with marijuana is actually mold and bugs. So Health Canada does regulate the whole system so that patients get safe, standardized medication. And we have many happy clients that come to us. And we have a membership where they become members. We help them, we guide them, we teach them about medical marijuana. We do extensive education and follow up with them. And they do see doctors, of course, because I am not a doctor. I can't prescribe marijuana. We do help doctors to be educated and to understand the whole system.
So to get your, let's say myself, for instance, and I wanted to get a American marijuana, cannabis, as you call it.
Okay. A prescription.
Prescription, if I want to get, how do I get, can I get that legally?
Yes, so that's what we help people to do. So to access the Health Canada legal system, all you need is a prescription for medical marijuana from a doctor, but that sounds easier than it really is because many doctors are still not on board with cannabis as treatment. A lot of them are quite oppositional to it. Mm-hmm. So some people's own doctors will prescribe, and what we do is we find doctors that if all the parameters are met and all the conditions are met, they will prescribe to people who aren't their own patient.
So what are the parameters, what are the conditions?
So you have to have a medical condition that you've been treated by a doctor for. You have to have tried other ways to alleviate your symptoms. Mm-hmm. And you do have to prove that. You have to have documents. Your doctor has to sign off saying, yes, this person is being treated for, let's say, fibromyalgia or depression or so many other issues that it can treat.
You mentioned that there is a great number of doctors that are opposed to the use of medical cannabis.
True.
I have my opinion as to why. Can you tell us why?
I don't know 100% why. Part of it is the stigma. Part of it because it is that the government says right now it's not legal, so they believe maybe it's really not safe. Another reason is because pharmaceutical companies work with doctors closely, so they have ties with the pharmaceutical community. It's definitely a big issue.
They get it. Is it just, do they have to roll it up and smoke it, or does it come in different formats?
And that was a very good question. We don't recommend people to smoke marijuana. A lot of people traditionally do smoke marijuana, but the best way to consume medical marijuana is through a vaporizer, which is an inhaler. So it doesn't actually burn the plant matter. It actually turns the cannabinoids into a vapor, which is the components of marijuana. So it's like an inhaler, yeah. There's all different kinds. Vaporizers run between $120 up to $700. We do sell them at a discount for our patients.
So how does that work then? How do you still burn it? Or?
It's not burning, actually.
Okay.
It goes into a device and you turn it on and it heats up and you inhale it.
And there's a smoke, or is just...
It's called vapor because it's not smoke, because it's not burning.
Okay.
It's a little bit, and it still has a little bit of smell, and we were talking about that before, the smell.
It's not like a Cheech and Chong kind of thing
No.
with the bong. And
There's still those around.
So my question is, like, now that it's a big topic right now, but they've been using medical cannabis for years for cancer patients, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden now it's a problem, like everybody wants marijuana, but they've been using it to help cancer patients deal with the pain.
Some doctors have been.
Right.
Everybody doesn't have access. We get lots of people who are going through cancer treatment and they use cannabis. When they have chemo, it actually helps with the nausea and it helps with the anxiety, the depression, things like that go along with cancer treatment. So, there is so many other ways. And to answer your question too, there is oils available that are actually edible. So they really just come in a bottle and they come with a dropper and you just put a dose into your drink and you drink it.
That's still that same smell?
No smell.
So did you hear?
Barely a smell.
Hemp seed oil, is it derived from cannabis?
So hemp and cannabis are the same type of plant. A hemp plant is non-psychoactive, but it's non-psychoactive. So THC is a component of marijuana that is psychoactive, But there's other components of marijuana that are actually very therapeutic, and this is a lot what people don't know, and even doctors. The main important component is cannabidiol. It's called CBD for short, and it's very prevalent in medical marijuana. But with medical marijuana, you do know what you're getting, so you can actually get strains of cannabis
CBD?
with almost no THC and very high CBD,
So the
up to
CBD is for
20%.
what exactly? For
CBD is a natural anti-inflammatory. It's an anti-nausea. It's anti-epileptic, and so it is very therapeutic, and that's what they're giving to children who have epilepsy. In the United States, you hear about them giving cannabis oil. So it's really not psychoactive. It really is all therapeutic, and it works. It works for seizures. It works for so many different issues.
so the THC is the
We call it psychoactive.
okay the psychoactive.
It's the part that makes you high.
That's the part that makes you high.
Yeah.
So the stuff that they grow in a shed in hydroponic to the stuff that they grow in the field.
Yeah. Well, it's really the same plant. It's just not, you don't know what you're getting. Some people do. There's growers, out there that know what they're doing, and the dispensaries actually have growers. A lot of them were under the old system. They do know what they're doing. The government right now just chooses not to put them into the legal system because the legal growers have gone through rigorous controls to become legal growers for Canadians. So the dispensaries have not been brought into that yet, but that doesn't mean their products aren't good. It's just they're not tested.
We'll be right back after the break, more with Pauline Gillard and cannabis. And welcome back here with Pauline Gillard. So what is the legal age for somebody to start smoking marijuana or cannabis, sorry, or is there a legal age?
So right now cannabis is not recreationally legal in Canada. The Liberal government is talking about next spring bringing in legislation. So the only type of marijuana that is legal in Canada is when it's medicinal and is prescribed by a doctor. So the age actually is 20 for medical marijuana, but a lot of doctors will not prescribe to people under 25. They believe that your brain develops till you're 25, so they're strongly cautioned by the College of Physicians and Surgeons.
So does it affect younger teens if they're smoking this stuff, even if it's medical? Like, will it affect their growth anyway? Will it affect their brain?
Well, they're not prescribing really medical marijuana unless it's a serious condition that a doctor really feels that they've exhausted every other possibility. I actually know an 8-year-old with a medical marijuana prescription. Wow. And he has a serious seizure disorder called Dravet syndrome, and he uses medical marijuana, and he has been for 2 years now.
Is that in the States?
No, that's here.
Because I saw a show and there was exactly that, a young child, and the parents tried it out.
Yeah, it's helpful. These are children that are suffering from up to 100 seizures a day. These children are almost passing away from these seizures.
And has it subsided, the seizures?
It does. It doesn't take them completely away, but it has made such a change to his life and his family's life. So that is one of the qualifying conditions, but like I said, it's still hard to find a doctor who is on board with prescribing it. They feel like there's not enough evidence, so they're scared.
So these dispensaries you were mentioning earlier, are those like what I see like pretty much on every corner here in Toronto, or
Yeah.
is that what
So they are not in the legal system yet. They do serve a purpose for people who actually can't get a doctor to prescribe marijuana to them.
Someone told me that they have, some of them or most of them have doctors on site that give them prescriptions, and then they have to like place the order, and the order is mailed to them or something. Is that how it works?
Well, the legal system that we work under with the licensed growers, it is a mail order system. You can't go to a store and pick it up. I'm not sure what
by store, you
dispensaries
mean
have.
just, okay, so what's the difference between you saying a store and a dispensary?
So the legal system, you can only get it by mail. So the storefronts are not legal. It doesn't matter if they say there's a doctor there, but I'm not saying they don't have good products, and I'm not saying that they're not helping people.
How about Colorado? Right? Isn't it Colorado?
Colorado has legal recreational marijuana and medical marijuana.
Right. So you're saying if I had a medical condition, I walked into one of these stores and bought something. If I walked out and the police were standing there, what would...
You could be arrested.
that could be arrested.
Yeah, so when you go through the legal system that we help you go through, you do sign up with a licensed grower, you receive a card that shows that you're legal. The container that you receive also shows you're legal. It's the same as if you were carrying any other narcotic. You'd have to prove it was your prescription.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still getting my head wrapped around it. So if you were, it's not a joint. So if you were smoking, you wouldn't. Can you smoke legal marijuana through a joint?
You can smoke marijuana. Lots of people smoke marijuana,
So
and a lot of our clients tell us, you know what, that's when I get the best feeling. But we don't recommend that as consultants because it's not the healthiest thing
But
for you.
when I read up online a bit about it, they were saying that a lot of people, one of the benefits of smoking marijuana was that their lungs get a better workout, so they actually start breathing better because they're inhaling it more than a regular cigarette, right? And they're actually saying that their lungs were improving.
Okay, so there are strains of marijuana that can help asthma. That's one. That's not really a qualifying condition, but we know that it actually does help that. Other ones are the chronic pain, things like glaucoma. There's so many different, depression, anxiety. There's so many different issues that it helps. But when you say smoking is not good for anybody,
right.
Whether it's a cigarette or whether it's marijuana. It's burning plant matter into your lungs, which is not healthy.
So from what I understand, there's 3 species of cannabis. Is that correct, or are there more?
There's 2 main types of medical or of marijuana in general. There's sativa plants and there's indica plants.
Okay.
They have different effects on people. Indica plants actually give you a more body feeling,
That's
more
it. I heard one is more like
better for sleep, relaxation.
Yes, it numbs your body, whereas the other one is more of like a
The other one's
high.
sort of in your head, we
Right.
call it. It's a sativa. It is great for people that suffer from depression,
Okay.
low energy. It actually can give you energy, creativity. Both types of marijuana can have different levels of THC and CBD, as we talked about. So THC is actually what people are scared about, but THC is actually very therapeutic. It actually is a natural anti-inflammatory. It helps people relax. It has a lot of therapeutic value.
Go ahead, Derek. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The higher the THC, you could get paranoid on smoking.
You can.
You can.
Too much THC can actually make you paranoid. Everybody's different, but some people are predisposed. They have anxiety. So we would recommend somebody who has that type of issue, along with, let's say, chronic pain, to use a marijuana with a higher CBD content and a lower THC, because CBD does reduce inflammation. It helps you relax also, but it's not psychoactive.
Now, a lot of things are of opinion, to be quite honest, but what do you think switching it from the pure medical use of cannabis, what do you think is an abusive use of cannabis?
Depends on who you're talking about. When you're talking about a patient who's in chronic pain all day, they may use it all day. And a lot of those people actually can't work. They can barely function. They're in so much pain. Like, there are so many serious pain conditions out there. And it's like anything. You can abuse anything. You can abuse pharmaceutical drugs. You can abuse alcohol. But I believe that cannabis should be an adult choice. And I believe if people can go to the liquor store and buy any kind of alcohol they want at 19, then they should have the same choice to buy cannabis.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. Because I just find that it's really interesting that there is so much regulation over a plant that actually has a lot of benefits toward it. Mm-hmm. I can't say, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't say that I've ever heard of anybody going off on a rampage after smoking a few dupes.
Not usually.
Not usually. It actually just, maybe you reconsider it and sit down.
So,
you might get hungry and you might mellow out and you may even go to
okay,
sleep.
but so let's say you're on the medication, you take it, are you okay to drive? Because I have police officers that tell me that a person that's under the influence and a person that smoked up are at the same risk.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And one of the warnings that we give people is that you should never use cannabis and drive within 4 hours. That is the rule, and that's the rule that we know, and that's the rule that the authorities know.
What I'm getting at, though, is I find it really interesting that there is so much regulation over this plant, But you can go anywhere at 19 and buy booze, and there are so
Oh,
many adverse.
Derek,
But we
Derek,
all know
Derek,
this. There are so,
Derek,
you're
you
cutting me
know
off.
I'm
You're
going
cutting me
to
off
come.
right now.
Oh my God! You'll just have to wait till the next time, Derek. Oh my God!
Again.
We'll be right
But we've
back
had
after the
90
break.
years
Thanks.
to get used to alcohol.
Yeah, well, welcome back. We're giving off to Derek right now if we're not staying on top of things.
I am.
Okay, so I have a question from Susie in California, who's planning to come to Canada. Does using, I'm going to say cannabis,
Okay.
lead to other gateway drugs? Or is it a gateway, sorry, is it a gateway to other drugs?
Is it a gateway drug? You know what? It can be. Any substance can make you less inhibited to use other substances, especially young people when they're in a group situation and people are like, you know, we're using cannabis, then we're using meth or whatever. But I don't personally believe it is. I believe a person has self-control for any substance or they don't. Some people have addictive personalities and they can basically become addicted to almost anything.
Which brings me to this, because I completely agree with you, but I have a question from Earl in Ottawa. Is marijuana both emotionally and mentally addictive?
Marijuana, I don't think it's physically addictive. I believe anything that makes you feel really good, you're going to want to repeat over and over and over, right? But I think people can become addicted to marijuana and dependent, I'd say more dependent on marijuana. They rely on it, and people need to learn how to cope in their life without a crutch all the time. But some people just can't, and they really need it to help them.
Right.
I have a question, online question. What is your opinion on marijuana and food preparation?
You mean edibles?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know something about edibles. Edibles are great for some people that don't like the smell, let's say, of marijuana, or they are very sick and it's hard for them even to use an inhaler. We actually have an 88-year-old woman who is using medical marijuana. We have actually lots of seniors.
And
But edibles can be very, very strong. We always caution people because it's very hard to regulate when you bake with them and things, how much THC is actually in it. And a lot of people go overboard on edibles because they taste great. They can be brownies or cookies or candies. The dispensaries, that's what I think the police have a problem sometimes with dispensaries. They have a lot of edibles and they can get into the hands of children. They're very enticing to children because they look and they taste great.
So let's say somebody has a problem and are you okay with them using it at work? Let's say the guy's a mechanic and he's working with machinery. I mean, it's kind of dangerous.
Well, it is dangerous, and that's one of our cautions. It's not just 4 hours to driving, it's 4 hours to using any kind of heavy machinery or anything where you have to be really, really focused. So that is a warning. But like I said, there's strains of marijuana and there's types of marijuana that are almost 0% THC. So that's what we would recommend if somebody had a medical condition that warranted the use of marijuana all day. We would help them to just use CBD.
So they would be able to use CBD and they would be able to work.
Yes, it's
Wow.
non-psychoactive, and that's what people don't know about marijuana. That's what we try to educate doctors about. They're actually testing in Israel right now, who has the longest standing medical marijuana program in the world. They're testing it on children with autism, which to me is amazing and fantastic, and they're also testing it for other mental health issues.
And have you seen anything since they've been testing it at the moment? Is there any feedback how it's going?
No, it's just
Not yet. It's
started
too early?
recently. Yeah, so psychiatrists, a lot of times their hands are tied. They're having so many different pharmaceuticals that don't work for people. So I'm hoping that'll be the new frontier of helping people with mental health issues.
And you were saying that where they're thinking of selling it, you'd said was like in liquor stores and stuff like that?
The Liberal government in Ontario has talked about putting it in liquor stores. We are violently opposed to that.
Violent?
Yeah, violent.
'Cause I
Well, I'm
can
not a
get my
violent
meds
person,
and go
but
get a vodka at the
Oh, I
same
feel
time.
like it's
No.
kind of it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is it
to
okay?
me,
Okay, but is it okay to mix them both?
it's not. It's not.
So
a
then
good-
why would you put them in the same
Exactly.
place?
We
But that's what I'm
caution
saying,
people that they
like-
shouldn't mix them, and also a lot of people that we see, they actually have had problems. We see a lot of people had problems with alcohol in the past, and they don't use any alcohol. We get a lot of people that their choice to relax is cannabis. They don't use alcohol. So they should they have to go to a liquor store and buy their cannabis? No, they should not. It should be sold in dispensaries that are regulated.
But together, they don't work together anyways.
No, they're not
so
good. They can make you nauseous.
At a gas station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Are there any patients that that are entitled to medicinal marijuana that have their, I guess, a medical card, whatever they prescribe? Do you find other patients that abuse the system?
You know what?
Is
We
it
always
hard
get
to keep
people.
track,
It's not hard to keep track because there are regulations in this system. We have to follow those rules. And we get people calling every day, I want marijuana, I can't sleep, or I want marijuana, I have a pain in my leg, or whatever, but we can't help those people because they don't fit into the parameters right now. You know, when it becomes recreationally legal, anyone will be able to use marijuana, and that will be a whole nother can of worms for everybody.
Jean-Francois from Montreal would like to know, I would like to grow marijuana. Is it hard to get a license?
It is hard, actually. Health Canada recently changed the rules for medical marijuana growing. So originally, actually Canada has had a medical marijuana program since 2001. And originally people were allowed to grow. And then under the new system 2 years ago, the government took that right away from patients. And a month ago, they just gave it back to them. But unfortunately, they need a prescription from a doctor to access the new system. So basically, you're asking a doctor to prescribe something to people, and then they're going to grow it themselves. So doctors have a problem with that. We're having obstacles from doctors saying it's not medicine.
So, I want to know your opinion on, and now I understand you also have ties with pharma, so I don't want to sully anything, but I want to know what you think or how you feel about the loopholes that someone with a real medical problem has to go through in order to get a medical cannabis prescription. Because as you explained before, you have to have gone through the gamut of chemical pills.
And your doctor sort of has to agree. Not always, you know, if you have paperwork stating your medical condition and stuff like that, we can assist people. But the doctors we work with would really like your doctor to at least say, it's okay to try it. But when they're violently opposed, they can cause problems for other doctors. So we try to work with them and educate them. Sometimes we educate doctors, and then they change their minds when they understand a little bit.
So that said, would you say that you have a little bit more naturopathic doctors, like naturopaths, that would prescribe sooner than a Western?
They are not allowed to prescribe. Only medical
They're
doctors.
Just medical.
No, they're not
that's
medical
right, not
doctors.
quite.
Neither are chiropractors, and
right.
neither are psychologists.
Does Health Canada oversee all of this, or does each province have their own?
No, it's a
their own
federal
laws?
program. Health Canada has inspectors that go into all the growers, and they check batches for different issues that cannabis can have, like I said, such as bugs, such as mold. They also regulate the amount of THC and CBD.
We're going to have to go to break. We'd like to thank Pauline Gerard for being on the show, and anything you need to know about medical marijuana, it'll be in the credits at the end of the show. Back with Nick Dross after the break. And we're back here. Actually, we're back with Nick Dross. He was on the last week on the show, and we're here to talk about self-defense. So Nick's going to do some work with Tony and Nick, and Nick is going to be the bully on Tony. And
yeah, so I'm going to be teaching Tony how to defend against a larger and bigger attacker who's in your face. Now, this applies for men and women as well. Okay. The self-defense that I'm going to teach you. The only difference is the method of attack. The way a man will attack a woman is different. So all we do is change a little bit the striking. But just to look at this, so let's say you're faced. What were you taught to do if somebody like this were?
So I was told that if somebody is trying to start something with me, I put my hands up, say, listen, I don't want no problem, nothing.
Okay,
So I'm already ahead. That's what I was told.
Okay, so the idea is great here. Your hands are up, but where you're standing over here, you're completely open for a shot for a strike
You
through
gotta
the
put
middle.
your knee on.
Supposed to look like this?
So what you want to do is you want to bring your hands up a little bit higher over here. So you want to put one leg forward, and you want to make sure to close the center line, and if anything were to come around. Now, awareness is the key when it comes to self-defense. If you're faced with an attacker, you want to be looking at his hands. That's the first thing. Does he have a weapon?
Not as high as
No,
this.
you're looking at him, you're talking to him.
Okay, so like this.
You're looking at center mass.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're looking, the first thing you want to make sure, does he have a weapon?
Okay.
Okay? If he has a weapon, then you gotta, think as quick. If you see that, I'm striking as quickly as possible, because the last thing I want to do is allow him to pull out the weapon.
Yeah, don't let him wait to do something.
Once he pulls out the weapon, by the time you actually trap or strike, you're probably going to take a couple of cuts. So
Because you're
awareness.
afraid and you're not ready for somebody pulling out a weapon, right?
That's it. And what happens with most people, they go into critical focus. Just move to they go into critical focus. They look at the guy. They do this type of stuff, and they forget all this.
Right.
So if I'm talking to you and I see him pretend to go reach something, boom! I got to strike as quickly as possible.
Right.
Once the knife is out, it's really tough to to stop it. So let's say Nick is here. You want to bring your hands up.
Okay.
Okay. You want to start talking to him. Okay. If you want to lower his guard.
Okay.
Raise his ego. You're keeping your hands up. You want to keep a good distance.
Okay, from
to
me.
make sure that he can't headbutt you or
Oh,
grab
okay,
you.
okay, so like this kind of thing. I can say,
That's
listen,
it.
I'll buy you a drink, dude. Everything is
For
cool.
sure, if you could diffuse, you can, that's your first option. Now, if you're faced with a bigger attacker like this, you have either to diffuse or you got to go preemptive. Okay, you have to strike first. Okay, once you've tried to diffuse it, you got to hit him. Now, where do you hit? Obviously, let me just show you over here. Let me come over here. So I'm faced with a guy with Nick. I'm trying to diffuse. I decide to go preemptive. I'm either going to strike the throat or come up with a palm strike. I'd rather hit open hand than punch. I have less chances of breaking my knuckles.
Okay.
And a better follow through that if I palm, I can rake, I can elbow, I can neck crank. I want to bridge the gap to not give him that distance. While
What
he's squaring
happens
up
if?
with him.
What actually happens if Nick doesn't wait and actually goes right towards Tony?
Okay, so this is why by keeping your hands up, okay, I'm keeping a good distance. If he decides to grab me in the middle, my hand's already up.
Okay.
If he decides to go around with anything, I'm already here. So it's based on your flinch response and not so much like traditional martial arts, which is based on timing and memorization, because anything could happen. Okay.
Right, right.
So as I'm looking to him over here,
Okay.
so if you're here, Nick, just try to grab the back of his neck with a hand. Boom. So if you push him here, you're creating distance. What you want to do is try to block the arm.
Oh,
so really
okay.
try to grab the back of his neck and your hands are up.
Okay, okay.
So if you're here, boom, that's it. So you want to kind of
You like
block
that, huh?
it
It's my
with the
Bruce Lee.
forearm.
Yeah.
Okay,
you
pay
want-
attention
yeah,
here, because
yes,
if he
yes.
does go to strike you and you get black eye, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Right,
Okay,
and then
so-
you want to strike as quickly
So
as
he
possible.
will do that again.
So if you
right?
go slow-
And then I.
Yeah,
But he already had my wrist because he knew.
yeah, that's
Okay,
it. But you would come in and strike as quickly as possible.
So when I strike, do I go like this?
Yeah, into the throat, or even if he flinches.
Upper or lower? Upper throw. Right?
Lower, you feel this. If I,
Yeah.
that's.
So you're looking
sorry.
to hit him in the Adam's apple.
Wow.
basically.
Yeah, you want to hit him like
Below the arm.
Yeah,
I
below.
can kill him.
Below
with
the
that,
Adam's
no?
apple.
No, you're not going to kill him. You're definitely going to
flight.
make fight or flight.
Okay.
Guy's much bigger than
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't afford him. If I throw in that first strike and I don't do damage, I got to. That's exactly what's going to happen. And
Right.
if he's got a weapon or he's got friends, your 2-on-1 weapons, like, you better start thinking running and escape. And even if I strike him and he doubles over, just
You got to
run.
either run or strike.
Run,
strike
run.
again.
So,
Yeah.
so I would do that, and I'd get him, and then I.
It depends, right? If I
Dash.
strike and he clinches and he grabs me,
Okay.
so let's say he grabs me, then you got to start striking right away. You got to keep it as simple as possible.
So basically, I always hit him in the face.
Hit him in the face, or you could also go low.
Low, yeah.
Okay? Now you got to remember, if you do go low and I do knee him, I'm also on one leg and I do take the chance of backpedaling or going over. So a lot of people focus on the knee. They're great, but you have to have good stability. You have to know how to launch the knee, because striking high-low is a great, hitting high-low.
So you're better learning like the way you just showed him is like if he goes over and you strike, you're better throwing 3 or 4 different punches just to get
Right
away.
away.
Not just one, just hit like.
But one of the
But
keys,
should all 3 punches be in the?
yeah, just open hand to strike the face. But one of the most important things that I like to teach is to hit from a natural position. Example, when I worked as a doorman, I was always here. This is how I talked, or here.
Right.
Without needing to get into a stand to let him know, okay, we're fighting. Because right now it's your skill versus his skill.
Yeah.
But if I'm here and I'm talking to him and I hammer fist the nose or I elbow straight from a natural position, I'm just
Surprise.
Yeah, and I'm hiring my
But
chances.
you're already ahead of the game. Because
That's
then
it.
to me, I know
Right.
he said somebody once told me to keep my hands, and he's referred to me because I always said, if you're in that place and your hands are up already, you can't get to me quick enough. Because most guys don't know how to fight. Maybe
No.
now because of UFC and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Said a lot of these guys want to go to the. See, that's the thing. Now guys are like running to the body. So what then?
Stick your knee.
Well, you see,
No?
yeah, you could go for a knee or you can jam it. But once you go to the ground, again, you're looking at in the street or in self-defense. The last place you want to go hit the
So
ground.
can we just see that again so I can get a nice idea of how you would stop, Tony, how you'd stop a bully coming across so we can let our viewers see?
Yeah,
same
Because
thing.
Tony's not an aggressive individual, but your hands for me are too far forward.
Boom,
But you
that's
got to
it.
be more
Well,
relaxed,
really?
I would think, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you want to keep
Yeah.
him relaxed, and again, you want to keep talking and forget about what
Right,
he's
right.
doing.
When he's in that position, he doesn't want to show that he's ready to fight.
Yeah, but you don't
no,
do
so
that.
I don't want problems.
Yeah,
exactly.
you're-
No,
you're-
no,
need to, like-
do, that's all. It's all good. It's
You're
all good.
using
So let's-
passive.
What?
So
Yeah,
if he's-
yeah.
So,
what?
See?
Yeah, but you
So,
went
but
down
you-
there, see?
So, okay, so let's pay attention here so we
Yeah.
can actually, so if
Yeah,
you
see,
get
but I
it
was paying attention to his face. That's why he surprised me with that.
Okay, you
yeah,
don't
you're
know
not
me.
paying attention,
Okay.
so like,
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah,
let's get
yeah,
this.
okay.
Yeah, you know?
It's all good, man. Don't worry about it.
So you keep your hands up,
Okay.
and if he moves around, you always want to make sure
I'm always lined up with him?
Yeah, because that's when
Okay,
people
okay.
get sucker punched. Because
Okay,
what happens
let's see some
yeah,
action because
go.
we've done
So
it like
if you're around him
15,
and
20
you're pushing
seconds.
him, so just kind of push him and rough
There
him
you
up.
go.
Just rough him up, like.
Okay.
He's gonna rough me up.
No, you rough him up.
Oh, I'm gonna
just
rough
push
him
him,
up.
shove
Be
him, get in
gentle.
his face. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me your money, man. Give me your money.
See, this is the problem with a bigger guy. So Tony
Yeah,
is like,
he's overpowering.
Yeah, there's no
but you
way.
don't. But the
But
thing
I
is,
could
you're
have just done
grabbing.
that. But
You'll never out wrestle him
No.
or out. You gotta strike.
Right.
okay.
You gotta strike. And the truth is, when I teach this, I say, against a guy who's much bigger,
Listen,
you gotta
Nick,
go
Nick,
preemptive.
Nick Dross, everybody. We'll have him back to do some more self-defense. Nick, it's great having you on the show, guys.
you very much,
Tony,
guys.
learned
Thank
something
you.
there.
Thanks,
We'll be
man.
right back after the break. Welcome back here. We have our musical artist on today. I am. Welcome to the show. I am.
Thank you so much for having me.
Looking
It's
very
greatly
cool, buddy.
appreciated.
Looking very cool.
Hey, just trying to make it do what it does.
That's it, man. That's it. So listen, with the I'm group,
I am group.
I am
absolutely.
group, talent scout, cash money, rich guy.
Yes, sir.
God, you're popular.
These
You're-
days I seem to be getting around.
Yeah,
Yes.
boy. Yeah. You're recruiting talent. You're a platinum recording artist, and you're a French album dubmatic.
That's correct. La force de la comprend.
Oh, awesome. You can
Nice.
speak some French,
Yeah.
Tony.
What did you do?
Say both.
What did you do on the compilation? What did you do on that album?
Basically, I wrote the choruses for the songs that charted. I had 2 number 1s and a number 5, and the number 1 was on there for about 6 months. It was a really big movement in Quebec, dubmatic, so it was just a pleasure to be part of that.
I remember the name. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
remember some of the songs. It was good.
Yeah, they really had an impact in Quebec back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yes,
How long
sir.
ago was that?
This is like 96.
Wow, so you've been in the business a while.
Yes, absolutely.
That's 20 years. 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, you're
Wow.
talking to a
20 years
veteran for
even.
sure.
Wow, that's good, man. You still living the dream, eh?
Hey.
Wow.
I got a love for hip hop and a passion, so it keeps the drive there.
Yeah, so do
Good
I.
for
That's
you.
why I have a lot of like good artists on here trying to find some raw talent, man. And you drove all the way in from Montreal tonight too. That's crazy. And you're going to drive
sure.
back.
For sure, all in the same night, but we're used to it. We do this on a regular basis. We're in Toronto a lot because they show a lot of love and they have a very big industry here. So we try to spend as much time in Toronto as possible. And again, thank you so much for having us.
Oh my
on the
God,
show.
that's an artist. The drive in and drive out the
Right.
same day.
Absolutely. So you spend a lot of time on the road, though. You spend a lot of
Yes.
time touring
Yes.
and whatnot. Who would you say is your? I always ask this. 'cause-
Okay.
Just 'cause
This
I
is
like to
Derek's
know.
to go to
It's-
question.
I want
I'm trying to get him to
Hurry
change
up
it up.
before he cuts. Let's go.
I want to know who your influences are. I'm always ragged on. By the way.
To be honest with you, LL Cool J was a really big influence
Yes,
on
yeah.
me in the
Nice.
earlier part of my career, so to speak. I had a deep love for Rakim back in the day. His
Oh, right,
lyrical
okay.
proficiency and the way he put his rhymes together and his freestyle was just bananas. So it was a lot of East Coast artists for me back in the day. I mean, I've evolved. I listen to music from all over now, but it started primarily with a lot of East Coast.
Right. Okay.
What does a Saturday night look like for you?
You know, the honest to goodness truth, like any other night, I'm in the studio, I'm writing music, I'm working with the I Am group, the 100 Boys. great edge. We're constantly working on developing the next level of this product. So we really don't sleep, whether it be Friday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're on the go.
How is the scene in Montreal right now for hip hop? And
It's evolved. It's come a long way over the last little bit. Montreal is in a position right now where it's trying to compete internationally. So a lot of the artists there are really getting themselves organized and together to get ready to take on that international stage. And I expect it to be a really good time for Montreal in the future with all the things that they have to show and upcoming.
and the song you're performing tonight, sorry Nick, the song you're performing tonight is?
It's called Tasty.
Tasty.
Oh.
Yes.
And a quick question, coming from Montreal, is there more English or French influenced rap hip hop?
I would say now there's a balance. Maybe 15, 20 years ago, it was very segregated, and
Right.
the French were doing the music on their
They're
side,
also- right.
and the English were doing the music. But now the city just is coming together because
Right.
they want to see success and they want to see prosperity. So with that being said, it doesn't matter the demographic, the genre, the nationality. Everybody's coming together in unison right now in Montreal to take the city to another level.
Cool, man.
I gotta get back to Tasty. What's that all about?
Only Derek, eh?
I mean, you know.
And you're under the
Tasty,
time?
You know.
tasty is the epitome of swag. For example, if you saw a girl walk through that door right now and she met your Pacific swag criteria, she'd be tasty to you, like scrum
Not to
delicious,
him, she
like-
wouldn't be tasty.
Well,
I mean, maybe the shoes.
but you get where I'm going with the
Yeah,
basic
yeah,
with the
of course,
basic
yeah.
comparison.
And I can appreciate
if that's
the
your thing,
tastiness,
whatever
yeah.
your thing is, basically, whatever tasty, whatever's attractive, whatever caused you to lick your lips a little bit and say,
It's like me. I call
Awesome.
things
So listen,
delicious.
we're looking forward to see you perform. I am. Thanks for coming in here. Looking at Pauline Gerard, Nick Dross. Come back, Men 01. Love this, guys. Great. Thank you very much.
no, thank you.
Awesome. Hey, pleasure.
This is for the home team.
She don't wanna,
100 bars,
she don't wanna,
100 bars work.
she don't wanna
She don't want
fade you.
nah.
All she want is
All she want
that 100 looking tasty. Pull up in my shells looking tasty. I know she wanna taste this. She don't wanna
she don't want
fade you.
nah.
All she want is
All she want
that
is
100 looking tasty. Pull up in my shells looking tasty. I know she wanna taste this.
I smoke on Primo, eyes red, Rojo, Valentino, whipping Sesto Elemental, riding presidential. Got time for it, working with Amani. A leg well, working with Gianni. Versace, the chain and the wrist all rocket. My swag colder than hockey. Beat it up till the girl knock me, yeah. Have the whole fleet on fleek now, babe. Jump right on and ride the wave. Give your body what it craves. Hit it, batting cage. Hit it, batting cage.
Got her on a tip,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
don't wanna get off. Going on that
Loud,
loud,
loud.
like a river.
Uh-huh.
She's so wet for me. Yes. She's so wet for me.
100 boys work.
She don't wanna
Oh,
fade you.
no.
All she want is
All she want is
100 looking tasty. Pull up in my shells looking tasty. I know she wanna taste this.
uh-huh.
She don't wanna
She,
fade you.
nah.
All she want is
All she want is
100 looking tasty. Pull up in my shells looking tasty. I know she wanna taste this.
half black and Latino. Brought a girlfriend with her, she was half Filipino. Rode on both Palomino. Told him go shopping, hit him with a Gino. Shorty got her eyes on my new Serenity. Rolls Royce Phantom with his virginity. It's never been driven and it's never been ridden. Unlike half the women up in the vicinity. Oh, suicide in the scissors. Doors fly open, paparazzi taking pictures. Marquee centerpiece, cold as a blizzard. Looking like game night, Cavs in the Wizards. Oh,
Got her on a tip, she don't wanna get off.
tap,
Going on that loud, like a river.
loud, loud.
She's so wet for me.
Uh-huh.
She's so wet for me.
100 boys work.
She don't wanna
Oh,
fade you.
no.
All she want is
All she wanted.
100 looking tasty. Pull up in my shallows looking tasty. I know she wanna taste this.
Uh-huh.
She don't wanna
She don't wanna.
fade you.
Nah.
All she want is
All she wanted.